Welcome to yet another edition of the Stats and Stacks podcast, where today we're going over UFC 318, Holloway versus Poirier 3. First things first, make sure you smash that like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, over on Instagram, over on TikTok, wherever there's social media. There's the Stats and Stacks podcast. Quick overview of last week. Chris Curtis came through. Won and he was in basically all of our parlays, a split decision by the skin of our teeth, but we got it. Did not get Kennedy. We got we got Walker, man. I knew it was a possibility, but I was like, there is no way. He's fought better BJJ guys than Volter Walker. Kennedy's gonna be fine. Guess again. Walker's the best. He's Claudio Puelles out there in the heavyweight division. So I don't fucking know. The totals didn't go well. We missed the frickin' Klein total by 5 seconds. That was gut-wrenching. But we did have a dog come through. All in all, in Derek Lewis, was at least we ended with something. We were negative, but Derek came in and saved a few things, and Chris Curtis saved a few parlays. So it is what it is. Didn't do the hottest, but didn't lose all of our monies. But luckily, there's always a new fight week the next week, and that's the beauty of MMA, baby. So we're on to a UFC pay-per-view. It's a little soft for a pay-per-view because there's not really a title fight. Technically, the BMF is up for grabs, but it's not. It's not a title fight. It's just a going away party for Dustin Poirier, essentially. He's all right. A lot of people are real into Dustin Poirier. I don't hate the guy, but he's not my favorite, so I'm not as juiced for this going away. But you know, a little open the door a little bit. I might be on max, so it's a little easier for me to think logically. But at the end of the day, it's a decent fight card. Not a ton of people from Louisiana on this card, like I thought there'd be. But luckily, the very first fight of the night does involve someone from the home state of Louisiana. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. There's 14 fights, so I'm not going to waste any of your time. We're getting right into it. So first things first, we have the very first fight of the night. We have Carly Judice at minus 280 going up against Nicole Calari at plus 225. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 is minus 240. Under 2.5 at plus 180. Let's start with the hometown girl and Carly Judice since we were talking about her. She's someone I like a lot. She's only 4-2, so she's extremely green, but she shows potential, and I love how well she listens to her coaches. Whenever I hear her coaches tell her to do stuff in the corner, she does it instantly. And that's kind of a rarity in MMA, to be honest with you. She's very, very coachable. She has good striking. That's where her bread is buttered. She's only 26 years old. She's tall, long, lanky, and she will have a 6-inch reach advantage in this matchup. And as aforementioned, she's from Louisiana. So they're kicking the fight off with a hometown girl here. So she'll have that advantage. She has pretty decent power on her. She has a lot of finishes for someone that fights at this weight class. Her striking's good. She'll mix in a takedown here and there, but you can kind of tell she's learning wrestling on the job. Her jiu-jitsu is not the greatest, but she's defensively sound. Her name of the game is volume. She throws. Like I'm telling you, she's averaging over 11 significant strikes per minute. That's Josh Van numbers. She throws more than Joshua Van. Like that's intense here. Her cardio is good to be able to do that for 15 straight minutes. 72% takedown defense, so she's not easy to take down necessarily. A ton of split decisions, though. When you look at her record in the UFC, she went out there and absolutely decimated that Contender Series girl in her last fight. But before that, she lost. Sorry, the computer's freezing a little. She did lose a split decision to Gabriel Fernandez, and Gabriela Fernandez is an okay fighter with a lot of experience. And the fight before that, she lost her Contender Series fight against Ernesta Kutinskaya, who's a tall, lanky striker just like her. Potentially, you could see either of those fights go Carly's ways. She has a cool nickname and Crispy. Crispy Carly's pretty sick. I just like this girl a ton. In weak areas, she can be countered. She throws a ton of volume, and isn't the most offensively sound, but she throws so much volume that she doesn't have to be. It's hard to hit her if she is already throwing a four-strike combination in your face. It's hard to counter her. And you can, but you're getting hit with four before you can throw one out there. On the other side, we have Nicole, and she's someone else that I bet on quite a bit and someone that I believe in. I think Calari's good, and I think these lines are way off. She's 28 years old, and I do think she's the more well-rounded fighter. She has good striking, decent power herself. Only difference is she is a pretty good jiu-jitsu practitioner. Her wrestling's okay. But where she lacks is the fact that she's also extremely hittable, but she doesn't throw a ton like Carly does. In addition, she can slow down in her fights from time to time, but she's a finisher, man. 8 wins in her career, and I think most of them are by finish. She has finished all of her fights. All 8 are by finish, and that's definitely an anomaly at this weight class. Um, yeah, man, she's just neither one has fought the greatest level of competition. They both fought Ern and Skaya. And essentially she lost a split to Ernesta. So did Carly. So this is a pretty interesting fight here. I thought she beat Ernesta. I guess she did it. Yeah, man. I think she's good. I also think she's a little small for the weight class. And I think that's going to be enough to push me over to the Carly side. Do I think she should be a damn near 3-1 favorite? Absolutely not. She's 4-2, but she's now training with Doug Rose and that group. So she's training at cardio. She's training with a former champion, and just the amount of growth you see in Carly, I think it's enough to take out Nicole. This line's way off, but I'll go ahead. I'll side with Vegas. I'll pick Carly. I'll ultimately have to. It should be a dog or pass situation, but I fuck with Crispy, so I'll go ahead and I'll bet Carly. I'll probably have her in a parlay. It's a little biased. Calari's probably the correct bet. The right thing to do, in all honesty, is a stay away. Don't trust Carly at these odds. I'm just gonna have a I like you bet in there, but outside of that, I think this is a total pass. It's dog or pass there. Next fight of the night, we have Jackson McVeigh at plus 440 going up against Bruno the Hulk Ferreira at minus 600. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 plus 220. Under 1.5 at minus 300. Let's start with Bruno Ferreira. He's someone I do not believe in whatsoever. I keep trying to fade this dude, and he keeps coming out on top, and it's super annoying. He's 32 years old. His striking's okay. His power's decent. He hits decently hard. And it masks some of his just technique. His jujitsu, he is a judo black belt, so his wrestling's okay. And with judo, you usually deal with jujitsu. And he's pretty decent on the ground as well. So he's kind of a well-rounded fight. He has power on the feet. He can take you down if he has to. And his jujitsu's okay. He can submit you. I mean, he won his last fight via submission over Armin Petrosian. However, he lost the fight before that to a boost by submission, and part of that is because I was in round 3. This dude's cardio's trash. He has two weaknesses in his game: his cardio and his chin. The dude's also very chinny. He got dropped in multiple fights. He had a fight where he lost by KO previously. Yeah, man, he can dish it out, but he cannot take it back. So a bad chin and bad cardio are like the two worst things to be inefficient at. But overall, he's a decent fighter, so he's tricky. If you give him the right guy, if you give him someone like a Boost who can out grapple him and then ultimately drown him because of his cardio, if you give him someone like Nurselton who has a nuclear right hand and can catch that chin, he's in trouble. Jackson McVie or McVeigh or whatever his name is, he's a little bit of both, but at a very, very, very unproven level. He is 6-0, very, very green, making his UFC debut. And the fact that this matchup is even happening is weird. Bruno Ferreira was supposed to be being sacrificed to Ikram Aliskerov. Ikram was going to absolutely kill him. He's going to be like a minus 2,000 favorite. Ikram had to pull out. 2 weeks ago, Jackson McVeigh was or last week actually, he was supposed to fight. He was coming in on short notice to fight Cedric Dumas. Dumas then wasn't able to fight because of his legal issues, and they kept Jackson McVeigh on to fight another newcomer in Christopher Ewart. Christopher was unable to compete, so they ultimately said, "All right, Jackson, just stick around for another week, and we'll have you fight Bruno Ferreira because he lost his opponent as well." So the plans were not for Bruno Ferreira to come in and be a massive favorite. His plan was to be sacrificed. Jackson's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage. He's 26 years old. He's been doing jiu-jitsu his whole life. He is a BJJ black belt. His striking's trash. It's not very good at all, but he hits really, really, really hard. And again, Bruno is the much more technical striker in this matchup, but he can't take a punch to save his life. Jackson's wrestling, I haven't seen much of. It doesn't look great. It kind of looks like the jiu-jitsu wrestling where he knows a few trip takedowns, but it's not a strong suit. His level of competition is god awful. His cardio, we have no idea about because he is 6-0, and every single one of his fights have ended in the first round. So we have no idea if he has cardio. We have no idea if he can wrestle. We know nothing about Jackson McVeigh outside of him having a BJJ background growing up and that he hits very hard. That's all we know. And honestly, that might be all you need to beat Bruno Ferreira. Do I want to trust Jackson McVeigh at these odds? Or do I want to trust him in general? No. But at plus 450, what if he's actually good? I might talk myself into taking a shot on Jackson McVeigh. I hate Bruno Ferreira that much. I think I play DFS as well as betting. So like in regards to like DraftKings, I'm gonna have Bruno in some lineups. But in regards to a bet, I think it's a dog or pass situation. I'm willing to find out. Just throw a little sprinkle on Jackson and see what he is. He could be god awful and he could get knocked out in 20 seconds. Just be aware of that, but know that Bruno has absolutely no chin and no cardio. If Jackson has either one of those, he could win this fight. So the pick is going to be Bruno Ferreira. I'll have the smallest of sprinkles on Jackson McVeigh. He's damn near plus 500. Why not? Next fight of the night is honestly another one you need to stay away from. These first three are sketchy, man. We have Ryan's. This matchup got put together very, very, very late, and this is just interesting. It's a weird fight that they felt obligated to put on here. We have Ryan Spann at minus 220 going up against Lucas Bresky at plus 180. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 plus 125. Under 1.5 at minus 160. Let's start with Ryan Superman Span. Ryan Span is 33 years old and he is a light heavyweight. He used to fight at middleweight and he decided that his buddy Kennedy had some success at heavyweight, so he's going to try it out. And he got decimated. He's not a heavyweight. He just literally just stopped cutting weight. Not the same thing. It's not him getting bigger and packing on muscle. No, he just decided he wasn't going to cut weight anymore and he got exposed up at heavyweight. This fight is taking place at heavyweight again. He's just trying out again. He has good striking. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has decent power. His wrestling's okay. His level of competition's okay. So you're thinking, well, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong is that he has some of the worst cardio I've ever seen. 0, 0, 0 cardio. In regards to his chin, bad. Does not have good durability. Does not have heart. Is not going to fight for your dollar. He's going out there to get the quick win with domination, or he's going to lose. That's how it works. Ryan Spann round one or bust is what it always turns into. I couldn't tell you the last time he won a decision. Maybe the Sam Alvey fight, and that was years ago. He's very, very, very dangerous. He hits so hard. He has such a good front choke series with his guillotine and his Darce chokes and things of that magnitude. He's a good fighter. He just has zero cardio, zero chin, and zero heart. So you should never trust him at favorite money. It's just a mistake waiting to happen. Here's the tricky part. I mentioned about how he's super, super small and should be at 205. Lucas Bresky should probably also be at 205. He's been at heavyweight longer, but he could definitely make light heavyweight if he wanted to. Lucas Bresky's 33 years old. He's pretty decent striking. He has okay cardio. He will slow down, but he will keep fighting while tired. And that's where the positives stop. His jiu-jitsu's trash. His wrestling's trash. His chin is trash. He's not a good fighter whatsoever. He's not UFC caliber. He's not a true heavyweight. There's nothing really to like about Lucas Bresky. All he wants to do is outpoint you. His level of competition on the regional scene is very, very questionable. Literally, all he wants to do is go out there and outbox someone with bad striking or bad cardio or both. That's all he wants to do. And he's getting half of that. He's getting someone with bad cardio, but he's also getting someone with a ton of power and good striking. So It should be a Ryan Spann 1 round easy. Do not choose knockout or submission. Ryan Spann is an equal opportunist. He doesn't care how he gets you out of there. He just knows he has to do it fast. Ryan Spann essentially is a T-Rex McKinney, is really what it boils down to, only with worse wrestling. He's T-Rex with worse wrestling. Bresky is there to get had. So I'll go ahead and I'll pick Ryan Spann. In regards to a bet, I really don't want to touch it. The under 1.5 is minus 160. What I think I'll do is take the alt line at two. No, fuck it. I'll just take the under 1.5 at minus 160. This thing ain't going. No, let's play it safe. Let's take the alt line at 2.5 and see what those odds are. If there's something more than like minus 300, I'll just take the 1.5. If you can get minus 300 or lower on the alt line 2.5, that's the way I would approach it. The pick a span, and we're taking some unders. Next fight of the night. We are looking at making a statement here. We're taking Jimmy Crute minus 280, went up against Marcin Prachnio at plus 225. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 plus 105. Under 2.5 minus 135. Let's start with Jimmy the Brute Crute. I don't know what to do with this guy. I like him. I think he's good. The UFC likes him a ton, and they are desperate to get this guy a W. He is 29 years old. He has good jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt. He has good striking and some decent power. He has good wrestling. He can take you down. His cardio's okay. No, I take that back. His cardio's trash. It's not good at all. Um, but he has some decent wins on his record. He came into the UFC a storm. He came in and submitted Paul Craig in your UFC debut. That's impressive. He then came out there and knocked out Sam Alvey. Sam Alvey is known for being extremely durable. He went out there and he Kimura Michael Oleksiejczuk. Michael Oleksiejczuk is still in the UFC doing big things. Modestas Bukakas is on a current win streak. He knocked him out in 2 minutes. Like he was doing everything right. Then they gave him a contender and Anthony Smith. Smith was a contender back in 2021. And that's where all hell broke loose. He got leg kicked to death and ultimately lost the fight because of a leg injury. The UFC said, "Man, that sucks. Your leg gave out on you. It is what it is. Let's give you an even bigger challenge in Jamal Hill." Jamal Hill came out there with some hype behind him back in 21 and knocked Jimmy Crute out in 40 seconds. And then that's where we realized, uh-oh, his durability may be a little bit of a problem. Does Jimmy Crute have a bad chin? They gave him Alonzo Menifield, who hits really, really hard, but isn't very good. So they wanted to test it out and see if we find out that he has a bad chin, it's going to be in this fight. He does. He got dropped multiple times. Fight could have been ended. And fight could have been stopped, but he kept fighting through and ultimately got a draw. I live bet Jimmy Crute that fight. And I thought Alonzo Menifield won. But it is what it is. I got away with the draw, and that was perfectly fine. But we saw him get dropped again. So we saw him get knocked out. Then we saw him get dropped multiple times. We're like, all right, so his gas tank isn't good. His chin isn't good. But he could have beat Alonzo Menifield. Let's give him a rematch. They give him an immediate rematch, and he goes out there, the jiu-jitsu black belt, gets guillotined by Alonzo Menifield in round two. He panic attacks and he throws his gloves on the ground saying, "I'm done, I'm retiring." So we've established that Jimmy Crute is a great jiu-jitsu practitioner, a great wrestler, a great striker, but he has no chin and no cardio. In this matchup, when he threw his gloves down, we realized he has no heart. Like again, you need heart, you need cardio. I need someone that's going to fight for my money. I need someone that can go a whole 15 minutes. I need someone that can take a punch. Jimmy Crute can't do any of those things. He can dish it out, but he cannot take it. And he retired. We didn't see him for 2 years. And he's like, you know what? The UFC's coming to Australia. I have the itch again. UFC, please give me a fight. Please give me something. The UFC said, hey, we love you, kid. We are going to give you one of the biggest bums that we have in Rodolfo Bellato. The dude is slow as fuck. He does not move his head. He doesn't have good takedown defense. If you want to take this guy down, Jimmy, you can. If you want to knock this guy out, Jimmy, you can. You're going to be perfectly fine. And what does he do? He goes out there and gets a draw with Rodolfo Bellato. He 10-8s him in round one and then proceeds to lose round two and three because he gasses out. Jimmy, he's not rejuvenated. Jimmy just is. a good fighter with none of the attributes you need to be a winning fighter. This dude has effectively not won a fight in the UFC since 2020. It has been 5 years since Jimmy Crute has won a fight in the UFC, and he is a minus 280 favorite. The man has not won a fight in 5 years, has retired, has been knocked out in under a minute, has been submitted by Alonzo Metafield, and he is a minus 280 favorite. Why? Because they gave him the next best thing in regards to getting a W in Marcin Prachnio. Marcin Prachnio is the opposite of Jimmy Crute. He is not good. He's very one-dimensional. He's not an MMA fighter. Marcin Prachnio is a karate guy. He would do well in karate combat, probably not so much the UFC, and it showed. But Prachnio is a very, very weird. He has a weird record when you go back and you look at Prachnio's just work in the UFC. He's someone that went out there and got submitted by Vitor Petrino. That looks absolutely terrible. But he went out there and he beat contender Khalil Roundtree to a decision. He went out there and at one point got knocked out 3 times in a row against people that got cut from the promotion. Slow Mike Rodriguez knocked him out. Sam Alvey knocked him out. Magomed will get, well, I don't know why he was in there with the current champion. I don't know what the UFC was thinking. But that one will give him a pass. But 3 straight. So he had the moniker of having a bad chin. Khalil, he went the whole 15 minutes. Ike Villanueva is absolutely terrible, but he can hit decently hard. He body kicked him to death. Philippe Lenz can hit decently hard. He went a whole 15 minutes. William Knight can hit decently hard. He doesn't do much. He does nothing, actually. But he went a whole 15 minutes. Maybe he's not that chinny. And then we figured out he also has no jiu-jitsu because Vitor Petrino choked him out. And then Modestas Bukakas did the same exact thing and choked him out in his last fight. So he has no jiu-jitsu. He potentially has no chin. What is he good at? He doesn't have cardio. He gets very, very tired, just as tired as Jimmy Crute. But what he does do well is leg kick. He loves throwing a leg kick, and he's a very good counter striker. Jimmy Crute rushes forward like a bull, and I have not seen this guy check a leg kick ever. Ever. He doesn't check kicks, refuses. He thinks it's optional. Marcin Prachnio, main weapon, leg kick. We've seen Jimmy Crute's legs shut down from getting leg kicked, and he's gone against one of the premier leg kickers in his division. This is gonna sound crazy. Prachnio should get knocked out in 20 seconds. If Jimmy Crute wanted to submit him, if Modestas Bukakas can take you down and submit you, Jimmy Crute should be able to do it and make it look easy. But Jimmy Crute hasn't won a fight in 5 fucking years. If you're telling me Prachnio can beat Khalil Roundtree, I'm telling you that he could leg kick Jimmy Crute to death if he wanted to as well. And the last thing I'll tell you is that Devin Clark is a Division 1 wrestler, and for some strange reason, he Modestas had pretty decent takedown defense against him. And Modestas had pretty good takedown, or sorry, not Modestas. Marcin had pretty good takedown defense against double legs. Devin Clark kept shooting blast doubles, and Marcin has a decent little sprawl on him. He can't stop a body lock takedown. He can't stop any type of judo throw. He can't stop a single leg, but he can stuff a double. I only see Jimmy Crute shooting doubles. If he shoots doubles and Marcin can sprawl and brawl, Marcin's so live. Marcin by decision has it written all over it, but Jimmy's chinny. What if he counters Jimmy and puts him out because Jimmy goes forward like a bull? Either way, Jimmy's the better fighter. He's going to be the pick. He has more ways to win. But I'm going to go against the grain. And Marcin Prachnio at plus 225 has my attention. I told you why. And I have a lot of faith in Marcin Prachnio. So I put my balls on the table and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bet Marcin Prachnio. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to pick Marcin Prachnio. I'm going to bet Marcin Prachnio at plus 225. I think he's extremely live and everyone's writing him off. Jimmy Crute has not won a fight in 5 years. Next fight of the night. I kind of wanted to take another dog shot, but I think I'd be pulling the trigger a little too early. We have Adam Fugit at plus 440 going up against Islam Dulatov at minus 600. Over 1.5 plus 145, under 1.5 minus 100. It's because of Islam Dulatov. Dude is 11-1, has 100% finish rate, has never lost a fight, or sorry, has never won a fight by decision. He has one career loss, and that's by decision. Why? Because the dude's an absolute berserker. Like, I've imagine Hamza and how he just bull rushes people with his wrestling, but a striking version. Like, he comes out and swings, like, as if 15-minute decisions aren't a thing. Like he gets paid by the hour or something. I don't know what's wrong with him. He comes out here. He's 26 years old. He has good striking. He has decent power on him. He actually has a sneaky jujitsu game. He can choke you out as well. His wrestling's not great, but again, his striking has a ton of power. He has a ton of volume. He has decent jiu-jitsu on him. 100% finish rate. He throws a ton of combos. Um, but again, he doesn't pace himself whatsoever. The only loss on his entire record is a decision because he didn't pace himself. He got tired and he lost. His chin, I've seen him chin check before. He's never been knocked out, but I've seen him wobbled on more than one occasion because he's fucking wild. He does not believe in defense like at all. I talked about Carly Judice's striking defense. Oh, this guy, hands low, winging him from from the start of the bell. He is swinging 100%. Everyone always say, just touch him, take some off, hit him at 70, 50%, 90% if need be. This dude throws 100% into every single strike, and it's insane because he's throwing a ton. He overwhelms you and he murders you. Someone's going to be able to take him down. Someone's going to be able to withstand the onslaught. And then he's going to get fucked and he's going to get exposed. He is a future fade. I can't wait to fade this guy if he comes out here and gets an early KO, which I think he's gonna get over Adam. The issue with Adam is that he's physically slow. He's a good fighter, but he's not an athlete. And you can't be physically slow as you're getting just swarmed by Islam. He has okay jujitsu. He has okay wrestling. He has okay striking. He's the definition of a generalist. He's 36 years old. He'll have a 2-inch reach advantage. That's good. But he's kind of hittable. That's not good. You're slow and you're hittable against an absolute killer in Islam. I don't think Adam Fugit is long for the UFC. I don't think he's UFC caliber. I think he's just a notch under. I don't think he loses fights on the regional scene. I don't think he wins fights in the UFC. He's kind of a PFL guy, to be quite frank with you. I think he would do fairly well in the PFL, and that's probably where he's going to end up relatively soon after Islam murders him. So the pick is going to be Dulatov. The bet's going to be Dulatov. But just know we are going to fade him very, very soon. Next fight of the night is another guy that I kind of want to fade because he's one-dimensional. We have Atiba Gutierrez at minus 470 going up against Robert Valentine at plus 360. Over-unders set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 105. Under 1.5 at minus 125. Let's just start with the aforementioned Atiba. Atiba's training out of London Top Team over with, or is it London Top Team? I think he trains with Leon Edwards. He trains with Frank Mears as BJJ coach. He's interesting. He is, everyone's going to compare him to Francis Ngannou because he's also from Africa and just an absolute unit. He is a physical specimen. He's 23 years old, have a 4-inch reach advantage. He doesn't just hit hard, he does have good technical striking. But yeah, he hits hard, very, very hard. You look at him and you can tell. He touches you, you go out. All of his wins, 100% finish rate. What I will tell you is that his jiu-jitsu is trash, and his takedown defense isn't the greatest. It's not good. It's not bad. If he fights a really good wrestler, he's in serious trouble. If he fights someone that is just trying to wrestle just because they don't want to get hit, those he'll be able to stuff. He knows what a sprawl is. He knows what a whizzer and an overhook is, an underhook. He knows the basics. And you can see a lot of times people will push him up against the cage, and his corner is walking him through what to do. He's not even looking at his opponent. He's staring his corner down like for direction because it's not natural to him to wrestle. It's natural for him to knock your head off your shoulders, not to wrestle. But the good news for him is that he's fighting Robert Valentine, who is not a good wrestler themselves. I'm so sorry, I clicked on something. Oh, let me run back here. Not Akron Children's. What are we doing? What are we doing? So I had to use my wife's computer, and it's a little finicky at times. So we'll jump right back into it. Okay. So Robert Valentin is a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner. His striking's all right, but he's a little hittable, and that's not great, especially going against someone who will murder you like a Tiva. His cardio's good, but his wrestling's just not that great. He's 30 years old and he's kind of a busted prospect. He lost in the finale, in the Ultimate Fighter or the Tough Show, the second to last season, not the one that's going on right now. He's usually pretty durable, but he's been knocked out before, and I've seen him rocked on more than one occasion. And the biggest issue I have with him is that he can get countered, and he get can get countered a lot, and that's not something you want when you're fighting someone like a Tiba Gutierrez. You want to be someone that's very, very hard to hit because if he hits you, you're probably going out, and that is not Robert Valentin, and that is an issue. At the end of the day, if this hits the ground, Robert could definitely finish him 110%. But he has to get it there. And I don't think he has the wrestling to get him down. I thought about taking the under, just because if this hits the ground, Robert will kill him. But if it's on the feet, he's going to die. Either way, the violence is nice, but it's at under 1.5. It's not 2.5. But a T was minus 470. I'm still going to lean that way. I'll probably do the same thing and want to take an alt line 2.5 and play it safe. So the pick is going to be a Tiba Gutierrez. The bet's going to be the under 2.5 and just hope for violence. One of these guys should get finished. It's just a matter of where this fight takes place. Next fight of the night, I don't see a finish. We have Francisco Prado at minus 150 going up against Nikolay Vertenikov at plus 125. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 165. Under 2.5 at plus 130. Let's start with Francisco Prado. Prado's 23 years old. He has good striking. He loves to pressure forward. His jiu-jitsu's okay. He has good losses. I mean, he's 12-3, and his losses are to Jake Matthews, Jamie Malarkey, and Daniel Zellhuber. So he's not losing to scrubs whatsoever. He hits decently hard. He can go a hard 15 minutes. He has pretty good cardio. He has a lot of good things going for him. Bad things going for him. His takedown defense isn't great. His volume's good, but he's fucking hittable. Like you can hit this guy. He doesn't really believe in head movement either. No one on this card apparently believes in head movement. Then you have like two of the best boxers in the UFC going against each other in the main event, so that's interesting. Yeah, man, and he's a former 155 pounder. He's not a welterweight at all. He's saying it's really, really hard for him to make the weight. He had to go up to 170, and you can tell he's not a welterweight. This is not long for the UFC if he goes up here already. If he makes it down to 155, I think it will help him out. But he's just freaking tiny. He's talented. He's 23. He's getting better. He's a young kid. I think he made it to the UFC a little too early. You can see the potential. He could be a good fighter, but he needs to find the right weight class, and he just needs a little bit of seasoning. If they give him someone pretty like low level, he'll be fine, and they'll give him time, stall a little bit to work his way up and get better. Is Nicolay that low level? Kinda, honestly. He's 35 years old, so this is his finished product. He has a 4-inch reach advantage, and he also prefers to strike. He will try to mix in takedowns here and there, but he's not a wrestler. He is a striker by nature. His jiu-jitsu's not great. His volume's terrible. He himself is kind of hittable because he throws so little. And he can be backed up. I just said Prado likes to pressure forward, and Nikolai is someone that can get backed up from time to time. He loves to counter strike, and that's part of the reason his volume's low. Counter strikers usually have lower volume. But Prado, this is kind of a good matchup for him, to be quite frank with you. Do I think he has enough to win this fight? Yes. Do I like him as a favorite? No, not at all. I think this should be a pick 'em, and I came into this fight saying dog or pass, but my gut is telling me Prado wins. But I'm not going to take it. What I'm going to do is take the over. Why take Prado at minus 150 when you can take the over 2.5 with these two durable guys, and around for almost Same price at minus 165. So the pick is Prado, but the bet is going to be the over 2.5. Next fight of the night is one of the people's main event. I like how they have the first fight of the night has someone from Louisiana, directly in the middle is someone from Louisiana, and then the last fight is someone from Louisiana. Good job, UFC. We have Marvin, the Italian Dream Vittori at plus 200, going up against Brendan Allen at minus 245. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 360. Under 2.5 at plus 260. Let's start with Marvin Vittori. Marvin Vittori is a former title challenger. He's 31 years old. He has good striking. He has okay jiu-jitsu. He has okay wrestling. His losses are good. He has 7 career losses, but Roman Dolidze is good. Israel Adesanya, he lost to more than once, is good. Jared Cannonier is a former title challenger. Robert Whitaker is a former champion. Like he's only lost to very, very, very good people. Antonio Carlos Jr. That was a UFC debut. Or no, it wasn't his debut. It was a second fight. Whatever. It was also back in 2016. So, I mean, 9 years ago. I'm not going to count it against you. But at the end of the day, he's only has good losses on his record, and he's a generalist, hands down. That's all it is. He's not great anywhere. He doesn't excel anywhere. He's not bad anywhere. He's also a little pillow fisted. He does not hit hard. His takedown defense himself is rocking a 68% takedown defense. Um, I just feel like he's physically breaking down. He's a little hittable. And with that, he's taken a lot of damage over the years. Again, he's been in the UFC for 10 years. Um, and he's starting to wear. He's starting to look worse and worse every single fight. The problem is, he unfortunately had lost a family member just a few months ago. He's dedicating the fight to him, and is motivated. Is it the motivation going to be enough to actually overcome the physical deficiency that's been occurring? I don't know. I truly don't because Brendan Allen's not really anything to write home about. He's 29 years old. Again, I mentioned he's from Louisiana, so he will have the crowd advantage. He has a jiu-jitsu advantage. He is a good, very good jiu-jitsu practitioner. His wrestling's getting better. It's still not great, but it's getting better offensively. Defensively, rocking a 56% takedown defense. So Marvin will shoot takedowns here and there, so that number's concerning. Um, Brendan's striking is much better and I think he hits a little harder. But he also has a worse chin, and he's been knocked out, I think, twice now. So that's a little concerning. Brendan does have 15-minute cardio, but he does slow down a little bit. Marvin has better cardio, so that's a little concerning. So yeah, I don't know. I think Allen is the better striker. He's the better jiu-jitsu practitioner, and the wrestling is a wash. Brendan will have the crowd behind him to influence the judges, but Vittori is motivated. And these guys hate each other. These guys will hear they got into a physical altercation at a casino like 2 years ago. So I don't know. This is a weird fight. It's a close fight. It makes sense. And I think Allen should be the favorite. I'll go ahead and I'll pick Brendan Allen. And honestly, in a fight like this, you just take the better fighter. I'll bet Brendan Allen. I don't like the odds at minus 245 at all, but I do think he wins this fight. The pick is Brendan Allen. The bet is Brendan Allen. Next fight of the night, we have the prelim, the featured fight of the night, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the last prelim. We have Kyler, the Matrix Phillips at plus 145 going up against Vinicius Block Dog Oliveira. Um, Vinicius is a minus 175 favorite, as Kyler Phillips is a plus 145 dog. And that sounds weird because Kyler Phillips is always a favorite. He's coming out of the MMA lab, where you have every bantamweight on earth. You have Sugar Sean O'Malley, Mario Batista, Kyler Phillips, all training together in the same lab there. He's 30 years old now, which is weird. When he was in the Ultimate Fighter, he was just a 21-year-old kid. He'll have an inch and a half reach advantage. He has good striking. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has good wrestling. He has high volume. He's pretty durable. I don't think he's ever been finished. Decision. Listen, he's never been finished, and he's good everywhere. He's really, really, really good. So he has 3 losses, and he's an underdog. What is going on? It's his cardio. His cardio's trash. He has about 9 minutes of cardio in him, so he's always going to win round 1. I don't think he's ever lost a round 1 in his entire career. Round 3, he ain't winning. Round three, he just has nothing left and he's just surviving. And it's just a matter of what he's able to get done in round two for the like 3 to 4 minutes he has of cardio in that round. And sometimes he lets it slip away. He let it slip away against Rob Font. He let it slip away against Victor Henry. He let it slip away against Julian Paiva. That's essentially what happened here. He's a great fighter all across the board. One of the most talented guys in the entire weight class, just doesn't have cardio. On the other side, we have Lockdog, and I think he's one of the most overrated fighters in the weight class, to be honest with you. He's 22-3. No, that record's a little inflated. He has good striking. He has decent power. He has okay jiu-jitsu. His wrestling's a little overrated. And he's showing a 76% takedown defense. But Ricky Simone went out and said that he was extremely hurt during that fight, and that's why he hardly shot takedowns. And when he did start shooting takedowns, they were getting stuffed easy because he was nowhere near 100%. He had some sort of lower leg injury, and it was really affecting his ability to wrestle. So yeah, Vinicius stuffed like 15 shots against Ricky Simone, hurt Ricky Simone. Otherwise, on the regional scene, he has taken down a lot. His takedown defense is not that good. We saw it in the UFC itself. He had a short notice flyweight fight him and Bernardo Sopaj, and Sopaj got like 3 takedowns on him. So Said Nurmagomedov went out there and got a few takedowns on him. He's not the best wrestler. And the other thing is he has 3 career losses. All three, I believe, are by finish. Uh, Dr. Stoppage against Christian Quiones. Yeah, Adriano Ramos knocked him out, and then Ali Talib knocked him out. So, yeah, he's low key a little chinny. So, he's bad takedown defense, and he's a little chinny. His cardio, he can go 15 minutes, but it's one of those really, really labored 15 minutes where he gasses out, but he makes you work so much that you're more tired. And he works you out by that pressure. He does not stop moving forward, and he wants to constantly break you. He's really, really cocky. He goes in there and he will piss you off in the octagon. But when you're fighting him, he makes you work the entire time. And it just exhausts you to where he ultimately tries to get the finish. If you go out there and just chin check him, not a worry, like Elite Talib did, like um, Adrian Ramos did. But someone like Saeed Magomedov, he's actually very similar to Kyler Phillips. He won round one, and then he gassed out and ultimately lost the fight. Ricky Simone was injured. I'm kind of drawn off a little past there. Sopaj went out there and won round one, but took the fight on short notice and got tired, and then got finished in the third round. Um, he fights tired very, very well. He will win round one, or sorry, round three. Kyler will win round one. If he doesn't get the finish, round two is the whole fight. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be very, very tough to judge. I could potentially see a draw because I could see Locked On getting a 10-8 in round three. I could see Kyler Phillips getting a 10-8 in round one. Like, there's a lot of possibilities with this fight. One of the closest fights on the entire card. And that's why I'm just going to chase the dog money. So the pick is going to be Kyler Phillips. The bet's going to be Kyler Phillips. Next fight of the night. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever there's social media. There's a Stats and Stacks podcast. Next fight of the night is another one where I'm on a little bit of an island. We have Michael Johnson at plus 380 going against the Golden Boy, Daniel Zellhuber at minus 500. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 is minus 250. Under 1.5 at plus 190. Let's start with the Golden Boy and Daniel Zellhuber. I think Zellhuber is very, very, very good. He's a really good striker. He's 26 years old. He'll have a 4-inch reach advantage in this matchup. He'll have a cardio edge. He has really good cardio. He has a 95% takedown defense. He's extremely hard to take down. And if you do, he has a sick little jiu-jitsu game on him. He's a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's the complete package. He just has one major issue. He's chinny. He gets rocked a lot of times. He has 2 career losses. He got rocked badly against Esteban Ribovic. Prado didn't touch him. Giagos rocked him. Lando Venata rocked him. Trey Ogden didn't rock him, but won a striking affair, which is interesting. Lucas Almeida's not very good. He rocked him. Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest chin, and he's a little hittable. That's the problem. He fights really, really long. He's very, very clean. He's very, very good. But if you do catch him and you do crack him, he kind of folds. He hasn't been knocked out yet, but goddamn, he's been really, really, really close. And Esteban hits decently hard, but Michael Johnson hits harder, and Michael Johnson is faster. And Michael Johnson's old as shit. Don't get me wrong; he's 39 years old. He was on the Ultimate Fighter like 20 years ago. That's what this picture is. He has good striking. Everyone would tell you he's the hardest hitter in the weight class. His volume's okay. His wrestling, he's a former college wrestler, so he knows how to wrestle. His jiu-jitsu is all right. It's not good. It's not bad. He's just been in the game a while. He's crafty. Um, he just finds way to lose all the time. Like Josh Emmett, he was beating pillar to post, got knocked out in round three. Uh, Frickin' Thiago Moises, he 10-8'd in round one, and then he got flying heel hooked or what have you in round two. He just goes out there, he knocked down Justin Gaethje real badly. Then I went out there and got knocked out. Like he does this all the fucking time. He goes out there, he dominates, and then he proves his dominance and decides, all right, your turn. And then ultimately loses the fight over and over. You can knock him out, you can choke him out. He will find ways. He'll get creative to lose fights. Um, is that going to happen here? I don't know. I truly have no idea. I do like the under is plus money, but that's 1.5. I don't know if the 2.5 is plus money. If it is, I'm taking it because I could see Zellhuber beating Michael Johnson because he just decided it's time for me to lose. And I could also see him knocking Zellhuber the fuck out. Zellhuber does not move his head at all. I'm very, very shocked at this line. The pick is going to be Daniel Zellhuber, but I will have a bet on Michael Johnson by KO. It's plus 1,000, and that's absolutely insane to me. And I might have a bet on that under 2.5. It's plus money. I will actually. I will have a bet on the under 2.5. So I'm taking it two ways. I'm not even betting the huge favorite. I'm betting the dog by KO at plus 1,000, and I'm taking the under 2.5 at whatever that is. It's got to be like even to plus money, and I think you're getting a bargain on that because they can finish each other. Next fight of the night, we have Dan 50K Ige at minus 175 going up against Patricio Pitbull at plus 145. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 280. Under 2.5 at plus 210. Let's excuse me. Let's start with Dan 50K Ige. Dan Ige's good. He's 33 years old have a 6-inch reach advantage, which he never has. He has good striking. He has good power. He hits decently hard. He has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt that he never bust out because he doesn't like to wrestle. 58% takedown defense, but a really, really good get-up game. You can take him down, but you can't hold him down. And he counters very, very well. I mean, he prefers to counter you. That's where he gets most of his knockouts. But if he has to go first, I said this about Chris Curtis last week. If he has to go first, he will. And he can win going that way as well. So all in all, really good striker. You can't submit this guy. He's never been finished. He's damn near never been rocked. He's durable as all hell. He either knocks you out, he either outstrikes you, or you grapple fuck him. Bryce Mitchell took him down and held him as long as he could. Lerone Murphy took him down, held him down as long as he could. Diego Lopez only did it once, but he did find his way to his back without a takedown and take an entire way around that way. So you hang on. You hang on for dear life against Dan Ige because he's not going to stop coming and he's going to try to put your lights out. On the other side, we have Patricio Pitbull, who's looking to do the exact same thing. The problem is Pitbull is 38 years old at this point. Pitbull is a very, very, very small featherweight. He should beat at bantamweight and has fought at 135 before. He came over from PFL and looked terrible. And I don't expect much different here. I think Pitbull's a really, really, really good fighter, but I think he's going to tarnish his legacy a little coming over to the UFC at 38 years old, kind of similar to what Michael Chandler is doing. He has good striking. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has okay wrestling. He can pull it out, but it makes him tired when he does so. His cardio is not the greatest. It's not good. It's not bad if he's just striking, but if he wrestles, he does get tired. Um, he has decent power himself. But he's pretty hittable too. A lot of that is because of his volume. If he threw more, the numbers wouldn't be as skewed. But he just doesn't throw enough. He throws hard, he throws clean, just not enough at this level. So at the end of the day, in a striking affair, Dan Ige hits just as hard and throws more volume and is a little less hittable. If Pitbull wants to mix in takedowns, he can win the fight that way, but I don't see him doing it. He does not like to wrestle. So the pick is going to be Dan Ige. The bet is going to be Dan Ige. Next fight of the night is one we can save some time on. We have Kevin Holland at minus 400 going up against Daniel Rodriguez at plus 310. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 plus 130. Under 2.5 minus 165. Let's start with Daniel Rodriguez. He has good striking. He has sneaky good jiu-jitsu. His wrestling is not great, um, but he's old. That's what it comes down to. He's 38 years old and he looks 48 in the octagon. He his wrestling's not great. He's slowing down now. He used to have good cardio. Now he gets tired. He's also getting chinny. I've seen him rocked in his last fight against Ponzinibbio. He was rocked against Alex Morono. He got knocked out by Ian Machado Gary. He got choked out by Neil Magny. Like he's getting worse and worse and worse, which is fine. He's 38 years old, but if they give him anyone competent, he's in a little bit of trouble. I mean, that's they're giving him more of that with Kevin Trailblazer Holland. Kevin Holland at welterweight is when you bet. Basically, he's never lost at 170 outside of the Jack Della fight to the. So he's lost. Sorry, he's lost a split decision to the current champion of the world. Otherwise, undefeated at 170. He's 32, so he's in his prime. He has a 7-inch reach advantage. The crowd loves Kevin Holland, so he'll definitely have the crowd behind him. He has good striking. He has world-class jiu-jitsu to fall back on. His wrestling's trash, but if you take him down again, he's very, very active on the ground. He has an active guard and will just get up. And when you're on the feet, he's so tall and lanky, but hit so goddamn hard. He's a problem to deal with. He hits very, very hard, especially at 170. So the pick is going to be Kevin Holland. The bet's going to be Kevin Holland. But this line is growing, and pretty sure you're not going to be able to bet Kevin Holland at a good rate. I see him going off at like minus 800, and it's going to be ridiculous. So you can attack the under at that point. The under is only minus 165. So as of right now, at minus 400, I'm all in on Holland. He's my favorite play of the card. But in regards to the line, the under 2.5 is the one with the most value. Next fight of the night, we have Paulo Costa at plus 200 going against Roman Kopylov at minus 245. Over 2.5 minus 240, under 2.5 at plus 180. Let's start with Roman Kopylov. Kopylov is 34 years old, of a 3-inch reach advantage. He has good striking, decent power, good volume. That's it. He's kind of hittable. His wrestling's not very good. He mixed in takedowns against Cesar Almeida, but that's not going to work against Paulo Costa. His jiu-jitsu's still trash. It's really, 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 really bad. I know Paulo Costa's not the greatest jiu-jitsu practitioner, but he is a black belt on paper. Um, Kopylov is a kickboxer who's doing MMA, basically, is all it is. Just like Izzy, just like Poatan, he is a kickboxer that is currently doing MMA. On the other side, we have a complete fighter in Paulo Costa. He has good striking. He has good cardio somehow, some way. He definitely, or at least in this matchup, he definitely has the better cardio. Again, jiu-jitsu we never see, but apparently as a black belt, his wrestling, he's mixed in takedowns here and there himself, but not a ton. 80% takedown defense in his career, so I don't see Kopylov being the one to take him down. He throws a ton of volume. And what it comes down to is this is striker versus striker. I think Kopylov hits harder. I think Costa hits hard enough, but he throws with a lot more volume at a lot higher rate. And if it's striker versus striker, I mean, you have plus 200 on the guy that's fought the better competition. Again, Costa pre-Adesanya is a killer. He lost his first fight, has never looked the same, but he hasn't looked the same against Robert Whitaker. He hasn't looked the same against Sean Strickland. He hasn't looked the same against Luke Rockhold. Every single one of those guys have been champion. He's never looked the same against Marvin Vettori, who fought for the title on more than one occasion. Or no, just once actually. Once was for the title. He fought Izzy more than one occasion. Once was for the title. At the end of the day, he's only lost to title challengers and champions. Period. That's all he's ever lost to. Roman Kopylov is over there getting knockouts over a welterweight in Chris Curtis, Alessio Di Chirico. Like that is not the same. Alessio, compared to yeah, it's just not the same. So at the end of the day, a loss to Albert Duraev and a loss to Izzy Adesanya are two different animals. I'm going to take the animal I trust. So the pick is going to be Paulo Costa. The bet is going to be Paulo Costa. At plus 200, take my money. That takes us to the main event. If you haven't already, smash the like button on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, wherever there's social media. There's a Stats and Stacks podcast. We have Max Bless Holloway at minus 225 going against who the card is built around, Dustin Poirier at plus 105. Over under set at 4.5. Over 4.5 minus 160. Under 4.5 at plus 124. Let's start with Dustin Poirier and his retirement fight. He is 36 years old. He will definitely have the crowd behind him. He has a 4-inch reach advantage. He has good striking. He has good cardio. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has good power, good level of competition. But people don't win their retirement fights, period. It just doesn't happen ever. We just saw it again with Lauren Murphy, your last fight. When you announce your retirement beforehand, you just seemingly struggle. There's something going on. There's something in the water where it just doesn't work. He's good. He's still good at 36 years old, and he just wants to leave with all of his faculties, and I don't blame him whatsoever. But he is risking that fighting someone like Max Holloway, who's going to put a whole bunch of damage on his life. Max has good striking. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has decent takedown defense. He has great cardio. Has also fought a good level of competition. He doesn't hit as hard as Dustin, but and he has lost to Dustin twice. But there are some asterisks. First and foremost, the first fight was Max's debut in the UFC. He was telling us how bad his jiu-jitsu was. He didn't know what was going on, and ultimately he got submitted. It happens. The next fight, he lost to Dustin Poirier. He took on short notice up a weight class at 155. So, yeah, he lost to him twice, but he lost in his debut and he lost on short notice up a weight class. Max had a 145-pound body in that fight. Now Max is a true 155er. He's getting big. He's getting very big. He fought at 155 against Justin Gaethje, and now he's doing it again. And I think this might be a permanent move up to 155. Um, I don't know, man. He's just good. He's very, very, very good. He's a Hall of Famer, and people don't win their retirement fights. And Max Holloway, I have a hard time seeing him go 3-0 against Volk, or sorry, 0-3 against Volk, and then 0-3 against Poirier. I just don't think it happens. I think he gets it done. He's the younger guy. He's the faster guy. And the second fight, although he lost, it was extremely close. Could have went either way, in my opinion. When I went back and watched the fight tape, the numbers don't really tell the story. So the pick is going to be Max Holloway. The bet is going to ultimately be Max Holloway, but the real thing to do is just sit back, relax, and enjoy the last fight of the diamond. And that's UFC 318. It's an interesting card. It's one where the prelims are a little easier to predict than the main card. But it is what it is. It's a UFC event. We're here to bet and we're here to make money. Let's get after it.